This video goes out to Dex. He's an 8-year-old fan who loves the Prime Ride Time by the Number series. This one's for you. The B&M Floorless coaster was introduced in 1999, remained popular through 2005, and the last one was installed in 2013. Though some of the very early B&M stand-ups have recently gotten floorless trains. This was to improve the ride experience. Every single one that was built is still in operation, 13 total, plus the 3 conversions. And today, let's strip them down to their nuts and bolts. We'll put all bias aside and look at the stats. Which one of these is the tallest, the fastest, the longest, the best paced, and we'll rank them up based on prime ride time. These are the world's B&M Floorless coasters, by the numbers. If you're wondering, where's Incredible Hulk, or Kumba, or Wildfire? Those are B&M sit-down coasters where the trains have a floor. Some dive coasters also have floorless trains, and I also won't include those. The floorless coaster is a specific model from B&M, and that's all I'm talking about here. That being said, I will include the stand-up coasters that were given floorless trains. If you're new to this series, prime ride time starts when the train starts picking up speed off the lift hill, and it ends when it hits the final brakes. Most of these have mid-course brake runs, and those were left in the overall ride time. None of the POVs that I watched had the train slow down the mid-course that much. The track length I'll show also reflects just the prime ride track, and with help from Google Maps and the Pythagorean theorem, I took out the lift hill, station, and brakes from the overall track length. Also, if you can drop this video a like, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Without further ado, let's get started. In 16th place with 30 seconds is Daymond at Tivoli Gardens. This coaster isn't only last in ride time, it's also last in height and length, and second to last in speed and pacing. This one's just built different. If you look at the plot, it's tiny. B&M had hardly anything to work with, and you see that right off the bat with the helix off the lift hill. This serves to spin the ride around and line it up with the first drop, leading into its 3 inversions. It has by far the shortest drop at 65.6 feet. All the others have at least 90, and it's even shorter in length than the floorless conversions. It does look like it's going fast through the elements, but it probably doesn't have the overall speed to post a good pacing number. In 15th place with 35 seconds is Patriot at California's Great America. This is one of B&M's original coasters, formerly a stand-up called Vortex, and in 2017, it was overhauled to replace the stand-up trains with floorless ones. It's still one of those small B&M models from the early 90s, with just those 2 inversions, and it's only number 14 in height and 15 in length, ranking all the way at the bottom in speed and pacing. It's battling Daymond for the bottom 2 spots in every category, but where that one was just crammed into a small plot of land, this one is just old and outdated, and instead of tearing it out for something new, Cedar Fair took the cheaper route and gave it a better ride experience. It probably shouldn't be compared to the others on this list, but I'm doing it anyway. In 14th place with 36 seconds is Hellraiser at Ocean Park. Here's another one with a very unique setting. Ocean Park as a whole standing high on the southern tip of Hong Kong Island. The first drop dives off the side of a cliff, kind of like Superman Krypton coaster, and because of that challenging location, you have an interesting layout. It's kind of an out and back linear layout after the drop in the loop. It's not surprising to see it's only 12th in height, speed, and length, but it comes in first place in pacing, tracking more than 61 feet per second, coming in 1.5 feet per second better than the second place coaster. In 13th place with 38 seconds is Batman the Dark Knight at Six Flags New England. Six Flags gave their big parks to floorless coasters, and New England doesn't really fall into that category, so they got this one. It's a complete ride. It's no knock on it. It's just that when it was built in 2002, we were just used to seeing floorless coasters a lot different. It's number 11 in height, tied for number 10 in speed, number 13 in length. You can see what I'm talking about. The others were just so much bigger. It does rank near the middle in pacing, in 9th place, and I do enjoy this one, so it's a solid layout despite its size. In 12th place with 40 seconds is Firebird at Six Flags America. This was the original B&M, a stand-up coaster, opening as Iron Wolf at Six Flags Great America. It moved down to Maryland in 2012, and it was converted into a floorless in 2019. It's more of a complete ride than Patriot, with nearly 1,000 more feet of track. That puts it in 11th place. It also has a top speed 10 miles per hour faster, but it's apparently 1 foot shorter than Patriot. We don't have a listed drop on Patriot, just the height, so maybe that has something to do with it. Because of that length, it actually comes in 5th place in pacing, covering a lot of track in 40 seconds. I think you can really appreciate that pacing if your head wasn't bouncing around side to side. In 11th place with 41 seconds is Insane Speed at Jamfest and Fancy World. This is like a slightly bigger train version of Batman the Dark Knight, just minus that 0G roll, so it only has 4 inversions. It has a straight first drop after turning off the lift, 131 feet tall, good for 10th. It's 13th in speed and pacing, and 14th in length. It seems like this should have better pacing, given its size and its length, but it still looks to be a good ride with a good setting. In 10th place with 46 seconds is Hot Wheels Nitro at Imagica. You won't find too many coasters on this channel from India, but here you go. This has an absolutely bizarre drop. acting like a straight drop before twisting to the right. And at 132 feet, that's gotta be a gut punch. It's only tied for 8th in height, 10th in length, and 12th in pacing. But apparently, it has a top speed of 65.2 miles per hour, good for 2nd place overall. These are the stats I'm given. Take them as you will. This takes place on a flat plot of land. The 0G roll goes through the dive loop, and it's got those interlocking corkscrews. This was B&M's last original floorless, opening in 2013. In 9th place with 53 seconds is Hydra the Revenge at Dorney Park. Most of these floorless coasters are easy to track, but Hydra has some prime ride time before the lift hill. I give it a solid 9 seconds from the time it goes through the JoJo roll to the time it hits the lift. Then it has 44 more seconds of ride time, going through its other funky, oddly shaped 6 inversions. It's not tall or fast. That straight drop diving into a ditch at 105 feet, and only hitting a top speed of 53 miles per hour. This is good for 13th and 14th. It's got 7 inversions total, so it has a decent track length at over 2,700 feet, ranking 9th. And between that length and the JoJo roll, it's no surprise it's down at 14th in pacing, just over 50 feet per second. In 8th place with 54 seconds is Ruguru at Cedar Point. The last converted stand-up is the biggest one. The first two were very early B&M models. This one came a few years later, and it was the upgraded version. It was called Mantis, opening in 1996 and served for 19 seasons until getting overhauled. It's 7th in height and 9th in speed, up at 6th in length, and all the way up at 2nd in pacing. The original Mantis had a trim brake on the first drop, and thankfully that's gone now. That allows Ruguru the extra speed to rip through the course. It ends with a long twister section that stays very low to the ground, and I think that bodes well for the pacing, rather than rising up into another inversion. All of the coasters on this list that are longer than Ruguru have 7 inversions. This only has 4. Tied for 6th place with 55 seconds is Superman Ride of Steel at Warner Bros. Madrid, and Medusa at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Let's compare these to each other. Superman is about 14 feet taller, ranking 2nd to Medusa's 3rd. But Medusa is listed with a top speed of 65 miles per hour to Superman's 62.1, so Medusa gets another 3rd place finish, and Superman is down at 7th. Medusa is also 336 feet longer, 5th place versus 8th place. And since Medusa is covering more track in the same amount of time, its pacing is way up in 4th place, and Superman is only 11th. Both coasters have pretty flat plots of land, Medusa being built mainly on an old parking lot, and Superman leaving the main park, taking place almost entirely on a dirt lot. Both coasters also have straight first drops, and those can be awesome if you sit in the back row. Tied for 4th place with 56 seconds is Scream at Six Flags Magic Mountain and Dominator at King's Dominion. These both have twisted drops to the right, and they're only 7 feet apart. Dominator has the edge, ranking 4th, and Scream is at 6th. It's a similar story for speed. Dominator is tied for 3rd with 2 extra miles per hour, and Scream comes in 6th. Dominator is known as the world's longest floorless coaster, but when you take out all that extra non-prime track, it accounts for over 1,000 feet. This drops Dominator all the way down to 7th place, and Scream beats it by 93 feet, good for 3rd. Since it covers those 93 feet in the same amount of time, Scream places 6th in pacing, and Dominator is only 10th. So next time you hear some King's Dominion fanboy bragging about having the world's longest floorless coaster, just remember how much track is wasted on the pre-lift section and the long brake run. Tied for 2nd place with 57 seconds is Bizarro at Six Flags Great Adventure and Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando. These are very similar coasters. The only real difference is that Kraken has a straight first drop, and the second half is a little different. Bizarro has 2 corkscrews. Kraken has a vertical loop and a corkscrew. Bizarro basically has the same layout as Scream, but Scream has 9 extra feet on its drop and 2 extra miles per hour. As for the battle between Bizarro and Kraken, Kraken has 12 more feet in height and 4 extra miles per hour, 3rd versus 8th. Kraken has the most prime ride track of any floorless, coming in at 3,370 feet, and Bizarro is 128 feet behind, ranking 4th. Kraken also covers track a little more than 2 feet per second faster than Bizarro, 3rd place versus 8th place. In 1st place with 58 seconds is Superman Krypton coaster at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. This is considered by many to be the best one out there, and I think B&M built this one to be their magnum opus. It jumps on and off the quarry wall, making for a great setting and a unique layout. This helix here being unlike anything we've ever seen on a floorless layout. Its 168-foot drop and top speed of 70 miles per hour are top of the class, and it just falls short in length to Kraken by 65 feet, ranking 2nd. Superman is down at 7th in pacing, and that's no shock. Those big elements and the helix of the quarry wall slow the train down a lot, so you don't get that crazy intensity, but you get some creative engineering by B&M. This is a must ride at Fiesta, Texas. That's it for the world's B&M floorless coasters, by the numbers. Let me know if anything here surprised you or confirmed something you already knew. Even after taking out all its non-prime ride track, I didn't expect Dominator to fall all the way to 7th place. I was also surprised by Ruguru. Compared to the other big-time original floorless coasters, its stat line really held up well, even taking 2nd place in pacing. If you have any thoughts or comments on the numbers, or want to share your favorite floorless coaster, sound off in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new here, give me a sub, and check out my Prime Ride Time playlist for more videos in this format. Also, check out my links below for my Discord server, and my second channel, where I post copyright-free off-ride footage. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.